Supply chain segmentation. I would say that nearly every analytics case and every process within your supply chain is typically attached to a kind of segmentation. And what is it? It's really the link between the strategy and the final execution and the processes. The segmentation is not one technique, it's really across the entire supply chain. And it's really coming from crucial strategy to optimize resources, improve your customer service, and enhance operational efficiency. Huge supply chains are just too complex to handle it in one step. So you have to really walk your way through from customers towards supplier. And if you speak about segmentation, there's not one segmentation technique. I would say in each process or in many processes, segmentation plays a crucial role. Starting always from the customer, because we really want to know which customers we would like to serve. And from analytics perspective, it's all about demand patterns and also service needs and maybe the purchase behavior. There are many things for how you cluster your customers, and always with a target to optimize the service levels or service overall for our customers. So this is starting always with the customer segmentation. And then from a strategic point of view, it's really important that the so-called geographic segmentation, that you tailor your supply chain towards strategies, towards special regions, to special logistic parts. And this helps you also to understand where to put which technique for our inventory levels. We had some sections about inventory levels, and for different segments or even different regions, this might change. If you go deeper into the inner heart of a supply chain, it's all about product segmentation. So different products show maybe different volatility and also value for your company. And you really would like to stress, of course, high value products, and they require a more sophisticated supply chain. While low value and really products which have a stable demand, you can focus way more on a cost-focused supply chain. And if you go now to the supplier, the previous topic we had, it's a supplier segmentation. We have to categorize our supplier based on their strategic importance and really put special care and special focus on some suppliers, while others might be or can be replaced more easily. And that's more towards cost pressure and classical efficiency. So these different dimensions, there are more segmentation techniques in the background. You can support with data analytics easily. Some of this segmentation can only be done by good data analytics. Let's have a deeper look on two very classical segmentation approaches and visualization. So this is on the left side, the so-called strategic supplier segmentation. Again, so supply segmentation is a very old technique, and already in the HBR magazine 83, the Kraljic matrix was introduced, where you really classify your matrix into the supply risk and then the profit impact, and then you have strategic items on the top right, where you really develop long-term relationship. If you go to the bottom left, non-critical items, so it's all about product standardization and process efficiencies. The left side remembers the lesson as well on supply chain risk. There you can really build up this kind of metrics depending what you really would like to address. More efficiency or cost, or more tailored to overall risk levels. So the left side is more a high level perspective which you support by data. The right parts, the demand planning and forecast and segmentation, this is normally purely data-driven, the kind of segmentation. Typically, you have to ensure that some of your articles towards the market get the best algorithms or the best prediction you can imagine. And then you have maybe products which has a low demand variability, that's X, and you have products which have a very high demand variability, maybe Z. So this is the demand variability, and the importance is more strategic importance, ABC, where you have maybe high volumes of sales on it. And if you look high volume of sales and strategic importance, AX, you can maybe go in with really also feature-rich information. You have maybe machine learning models as forecasting models on top. And then you have maybe a CZ, that means low volumes and less important, with a very high variability, so sporadic demands. There you have to operate maybe with very aggregated forecasts because you cannot forecast maybe on specific countries. And this is a typically a forecast segmentation where you use different forecasting techniques. I would say from mathematical point of view, you would not need this kind of segmentation, but you have to always think in the bigger picture towards a demand planning process, also demand planners. And in the background, you have then systems which are really managing this high level forecasts and transferring it into an order. And there you need this kind of segmentation for your overall process. I think there's no other way to do from a process-centric perspective. Maybe in the background you have very clever algorithms who are doing this really dynamically, which forecast to use. That's fair enough. But from a process perspective, I would recommend really to understand really this kind of classification. It helps also your organization to put priorities on some of these topics. Also the resources itself. The segmentation, this concludes the segmentation topic. There are way more topics within the segmentation. These are often driven by top-level strategic topics. Again, every kind of segmentation should be backed up by data or by data analysis in the background. In the next part, we are going more to the bigger supply chain network design topic.